guys look like you're in some kind of a building with nothing but a table.
Yeah, we're in jail. Hey. No, we're at the library. Where are you? The Northern Lights are all around you.
Yeah, got out of Dodge, man. Well, I got my third shot a bit ago.
No side effects?
This made me hungry. No, I just got to go bring my card back so they can sign it that I'm vaccinated.
Oh,
Because I think it was like in February, March that I got my the second shot, and so this is my third. So fully vaccinated.
Nice.
Yeah, they were wanting to see if I wanted to get my flu shot, and I says, well, let me see how this shot goes through first, and then I'll come back and get the flu shot later.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, but we're scheduled to for this weekend over in Wallowa tomorrow night, little gathering, as well as on Saturday afternoon, morning and afternoon. Yeah.
Saturday is that the restoration blessing day, or is that Friday? Is that tomorrow?
Saturday.
Oh.
Saturday morning. Yeah.
Cool.
and tomorrow they're just showing some slideshow or something.
Yeah, I think it's about the history of Wallowa, nkiks. Yeah, I don't even know how many years that it's been going on. It's been going on at least 25 plus years, maybe. So maybe there's been like almost like a silver anniversary, I think. So this is just kind of a little, just to gather people up, whoever is willing to come over and, dance, sing, whatever, visit, Yeah.
Who's putting on the first foods meal?
When is that, for Friday?
Yeah, I think so. One of the ladies that visited us told us that there's a first foods meal and it's like $10 or something. And I was just curious who put it on.
I was gonna make meatloaf or something.
Oh, okay. Maybe they're doing meatloaf instead. I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't sound, excuse me. Doesn't sound right to be charging for first foods.
Yeah. Yeah, she was like $10. Yeah.
Yeah. I know years ago when I think when Wallula Warriors were having a fundraiser, and I think they had elk steak dinners or whatever, and they were raising money for the powwow they were going to be having at I think at the Walla Walla Community College, and some people caught wind of it and go, "That's wrong. You're not supposed to do that," that kind of thing. But I mean, still, it was okay. I've gone to events and functions, where I think it was one of the powwow committees used to serve on down the Columbia River. We went down to some place there by Zigzag, Oregon, by below Mount Hood area. It was kind of a festival, and so they were selling salmon plates, salmon meal plates, and nobody said anything. And then here it was steelhead.
Oh.
And of course, one of the guys, they don't know the difference. And one guy that came over there, he wanted to look at the fish. Can I look at the fish? And you know, of course, he knew he's fishing. He goes, "You guys are selling steelhead plates instead of not." He says, "You're selling it off as salmon plates." Of course, it's still a fish. Yeah. Okay, Níix-páyšnkikš or Níix-máycqi, excuse me. Níix-máycqi, ititamałáma, and the imáypam, páyšnkikš číİ'aw, sápsik in Nch'i-Wa Umatilla, and the kskɨ Nch'i-Wa Nch'i-Wa tautilix to nantimki shapotimki Nch'i-Wa Fred Hill Senior. Tjau'aw Nch'i-Wa pa Pityat kwe payuit yaw kuchaw Nch'i-Payuita. So greetings to all of you. Good morning, and just letting you guys know that appreciate you guys showing up here. Introduce myself as my Indian name, Tautilix, as well as my English name, but also just stating that when I said pitya nishwinpan pityat, that's pityat is sticky. Pityat is sticky. Go ahead and pull up the board there, Jonathan, and we'll write that down. And what I had stated is that I received my shot, my vaccination. Pityat is sticky. So the pityat is when you get jabbed, you know, like, well, with a needle. That's what this is. When you're getting like poked with, you know, like a needle. So that's what I went and got. Pityat is sticky. So I got my second shot. So great. Each and every one of you. How you doing, Gene?
Níix. Nch'i-Wa.
Ah, Níix. You're talking good today. Yeah. Mishnama Jonathan.
Nch'i-Wa musna shalawisha.
Oh,
Kumishim.
Níix-Wa. Mishnama tiičám ilusla.
Nch'i-Wa idmi wánakshash iwa hayui. So I'm trying to take care of myself. Pananak nui shash.
Oh, Kumishim we wála titba. Mishnama.
Níix-wa.
Níix-yqi. When I say Níix-yqi, I'm saying good to hear. Good to hear. Mishnama Annie.
Nch'i-Wa.
Mishnah Misha Chikuk.
Kut shash.
Oh, Ancha Knan Lumped Pit Hanupa. You're at the Blue Mountain again, I see. Got your stand set up there. Come by and buy a fried bread. Yeah. Tatsmawi, Leslie.
Tatsmawi. Níix-máycqi.
Yeah. How are you guys up there?
Psik kinina silampa. Watu teku tiic. We cannot make it tomorrow. We're good, but we cannot make it tomorrow. Or this weekend, I guess.
Oh, okay. Gumish.
Yeah,
I'll eat your guys' portion of fish.
I know we had hoped to, but it's not working out. So
Yeah.
yeah, but we hope it goes good, and yeah, keep us in the loop for any other upcoming things that might happen.
I was gonna hope that Julie was gonna make it. I was gonna put him in the suitcase race. You know what that is?
I think you kind of described it. He must, yeah. I think you kind of described it one of these classes.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, one of the ladies, I told him about that. And so, you know, because the Tumkalik celebration has had yard sales, so they had a bunch of leftover clothes. So she went through her stuff. So she's got a couple of suitcases with clothes. So we're going to see who shows up, and we're going to put up some money for it, you know, for the winning team. Yeah, it should be fun. So Annie, make sure you come up. Yeah. Yeah, just for the sake of fun. Earlier, I was teaching my language class about the landscapes, and in our book, that book, what is it, Nch'i-Wa by Eugene Hunn. I don't know if you can see it or not. I guess you can't see it, or I guess you can see it there. Nch'i-Wa, and it's the elder man that helped be a part of this. His name was James Selam, and he's passed on now. But it kind of was almost controversial because of all the information that he was, you know, sharing. But I'm glad that he did share it, and so I just kind of drew my own pictures and stuff of the different, you know, what the landscape, some of the what the landscapes are. And of course, we know that the land itself is tiičám, and, you know, earth, land. And of course, the river, that word Nch'i-Wa is, you know, the big river, known as the Columbia River. Then again, when we talk about wána as a river, so for our river, we would just basically be calling it ititamałáma. Ititamałáma. And then for our creeks, you know, smaller, instead of it being a wána, then it turns into wála. And but also in here, he has a word for creek too, that's known as, it's spelled with a W accented A, letter ypxt, and that's also known as a creek. So when you see that pxt, that sound would be wáypx, yeah. Wáypx, nch'i-Wa wína. I'm going down to the creek to go swim. Wáypx, nch'i-Wa wína. Going down to the creek to go swim. Yeah, I should probably do that before I go hunting, I guess. Like the old days. Used to do that with my uncle, and, you know, he'd get up and I'd just follow him, go down and get in the creek. Then when we'd be in the mountains, and that place called Folsom Springs, I don't know the Indian name for that, but Áwača, kskɨ, watám, there was a small pond, watám, and we used to get in this little pond up there and the water was so cold. If you've ever been around cold water, and someone like the water was so cold it was blue. You know, that water was páyšnkikš, watám, watám. You know, this, and it would be up there and during elk season in November, and then hear that Siapa man, he just thought we were just the craziest people ever. You guys are crazy. You know, we'd get in there and we'd get out and we wouldn't feel a thing. You know, our body would just numb, and we wouldn't just get in and get out. We'd, you know, really just kind of bask in that cold water. You know, then we'd get out, and then, you know, like I said, we wouldn't feel a thing, and you know, that would be how we'd start our days. And it's an old teaching. You know, my uncle, he would talk about that. So for some reason, that a lot of them old ones, they would swim in cold water wherever they lived, and it was to keep them alert and keep them acclimated to the, you know, to the weather. You know, and that's, I imagine that it was how they survived. You know, they never got cold. You know, you know, that was just their way. And a waterfalls would be waapáykt, or no, excuse me, kup. Yeah, kup. Jonathan, do you know if it, I think we have our own word in Umatilla what the waterfall could be. Let me see what my dictionary says. I think we might have our own word.
Well, it's got waapáykt in there, which it looks like Hunn wrote was the lip of the falls, at least for James Selam. Would you use that for a waterfall too, though?
Let me see what it says in our dictionary here.
If anybody has their own copy of this book, Nch'i-Wa, the diagram we're looking at is on page 92 if you want to follow along. There's just different, you know, types of land formation, landscape features labeled in each scheme.
So they have it listed as waapáykt.
Waapáykt.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we can go ahead and put that in there too. Waapáykt.
Is that the word you were thinking of?
No, I just thought we had a separate word for fall, a waterfall, but I think in Hunn's, in Jimmy's language, he said that for the lip of the waterfall, right? So like where it just starts to come over. Yeah.
By chance, Fred, you're not thinking of ápaawiš, are you? Is another word for waterfall?
This just says kup. What does it say? Is that a word in there?
That's the one it has for the Yakima word for waterfall. ápaawiš.
Oh, ápaawiš. Go ahead and put it in there. Let's see, where's that? I'm glad I got a background so you don't see where my books are, just set where I want them. Let me grab my Yakima book too. Ako anakuchitas anachimusnas ycqi sápsik anaku Nch'i-Wa Nch'i and the Nch'i-Wa tiičām, you know, just as I'm sharing this, you know, how things are written and how things are pronounced even. You know, as much as I used to hunt the land with my elders, we never got informed of a lot of this stuff. You know, what a canyon was called, what a creek was called, or you know, the mountains, especially the forested mountains, or just the snow-capped mountains. You know, we learned, you know, snow and rain. And one of the terms that when we talk about, my grandmother, when she would talk about if we're going to go to the mountains, and she would always just, instead of saying pitkanupa, she would just say "Khamikanaw na winasha," you know, we're going to go high up, you know, which meant, it basically meant, you know, going up high, you know, where the mountains are. So that's how that used to be. But the students have nicknamed me over the years. Some of the other ones, they gave me a nickname, and they learned the word for hill. Ushtai. So some of them, they call me that once in a while. Ushtai, and I says, you didn't even have a giveaway to call me that. Yeah. And then again, did I put in there the forested mountains there? Pitkhanu. Yeah, Pitkhanu. And then again, the forested, or not the forested, the snow-capped mountain by itself is just known as Patu. That's actually what Mount Adams is called, is Patu. I don't know if there was a bunch of us and Yakima and other elders that were recorded. Back in maybe I can't remember the years, but the narrator was Arlie Neskahai, and a bunch of us were interviewed on certain things. And it was, the site was called Wisdom of the Elders. And one of our elders, he's passed on a couple of years now, Twy Johnson from Níix, and he talked about, and he named, like Patu, East, East, I believe, was Mount Hood, Tahuma, Mount Rainier, and I can't remember the other ones that are named St. Helens, but they would all, you know, want to be the wife of the sun. You know, when the sun would come up, there's a story about how that became. And one of the sisters got jealous and like hit, like, I guess it, you know, knocked her head off. And like her, I guess her parts of her head or face or whatever was just kind of scattered. And somehow that becomes some kind of a story, but it was interesting to hear that. He just speaks it in English, but he also, you know, mentions the Indian names, you know, for some of these mountains. Yeah. So anyway, Patu would imply the snow-capped mountains as well as those mountains that have their own names. So like Mount Rainier though is Tahuma. Yeah.
Tatalix, did I hear you right? Is Mount Hood wáyísh or
Why east?
wáyísh?
Why east? Not
East.
yeah, without a hat check.
Oh, without a,
Yeah,
but
why
is it,
east?
but it's a glottal stop in the middle, right?
Yeah. Why east?
Wáyísh.
There you go. Why east? Kumish. Another place that's actually it's not listed in here though, but a place where my mother-in-law grew up, and it kind of implies actually where the timber line stops, and it's I guess implying the edge of the timber, and so you could probably like wherever like you're looking at the mountains and you see where the timber stops, it would be where that kind of a place would be known as páyšnkikš. Páyšnkikš. I'm not sure if páyš is with the ejective or not, but páyš is actually I think it's just the trees, or actually maybe it might imply pine tree, but páyšnkikš. Let's see what Auntie has to say in her, what she refers to as páyš. Actually, páyš is the pine tree, because I think for us, for just trees in general, would be just, pátaš, pretty sure, pátaš. But páyšnkikš is where that she would talk about where that they grew up, way up there. When you're going southwesterly on 97, and then you look southerly, and then you can see like tree line or whatever, and then we brought her out there. And then her grandson, he used to tease her, and he turned the word around. Instead of saying tapash, he started teasing her and saying, "You're from Yapash, not kid." And Yapash is like bear grease, or like a way of saying some kind of a fat. It's not Yapash, not kid. It's Tapash, not kid. But let me see. I want to look up this word, make sure. Pátaš. Pátaš. So again, that knock it, just kind of like I said, it implies, like the end of something. Seem like I've seen that here in some of this, but a spring, where a spring would be wána. So to imply cold springs, we would say kskɨ. Imagine Bobby and Brosnan knows where some cold springs are. Huh? You guys know where some cold springs are to take a dip?
Some.
Yeah.
Over here in Cove where we live, there's a lot of warm springs and the water's warm.
Oh, okay. So imagine that if we were going to say that if they, you know, since they weren't cold springs, that they'd be either like hot springs, imagine. Nch'i-Wa. Yeah, hot springs. Yeah, that's right. Is that place over there between La Grande and Union? Is that place a mineral bath place?
Yeah,
Be real hot, like
Yeah.
200 degrees. They have to put cold water in it.
there's so much water coming out right there. It's amazing.
What do they charge to go over there and soak for a day?
They charge $10 a day to go to the RV place, not the hotel, but to the right of the hotel is an RV and resort. And they charge
Yeah.
$10 until the end of this month, and then they'll close it up for the season. But then you could go to the hotel and they're pretty spendy. It's a few $100s. But yeah, if you go for the day at the RV and resort, it's $10.
Oh, okay.
The hotel said they're gonna do day, do day soaks eventually, but they haven't started doing that yet. They're just, they just opened this last year.
Is that the manual museum now?
No, that was who owned it previous. These are new owners now. They just bought it over the last year and a half, 2 years. At first, they bought the RV resort campground right there by Lad Marsh, and then the hotel went up for sale, and they bought that as well.
Oh, okay.
It's still kind of being refurbished, but yeah, that
Goodness.
Manuel family or whatever, they sold it a couple of years ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we went to his museum in Joseph, Oregon, and I was pretty impressed with some of his stuff, and I think I did recognize items in his museum that used to belong to one of our elders there, and it was some of that stuff. Yeah.
That's when they were at Hot Lake. We kind of got mad one day because we went in there and we just needed to use the bathroom, and they trying to charge us $10, and then we looked back there and trying to charge us $10 to come look at probably our elders' artifacts back there. So
Yeah, some of their stuff I think is stolen. That's what we've been told before. I mean, now they don't, none of that is there now, but it used to be.
Yeah. Yeah, that's terrible when those kind of things, end up in those kind of places like that. And, especially if they're, in a Áwača, the thieves that have taken it. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of, especially like that when they're in non-Indian ownership, when you see stuff like that, it goes, not enjoying seeing all this like that.
especially when they want you to pay to go see what they stole.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you just go right outside the front door.
And again, all these various terms, and if you don't have this Nch'i-Wa, that I think it's available at Muslik or online or whatever. You don't have that book, and it's a good one, good resource for a lot of things. Do you guys have it, Bobby?
Ciao.
Yeah, if you're able to get a copy of this Nch'i-Wa, it's a good read. Yeah. So again, when we talk about like parts of the land, we've got Pushtai, we've got Canoe, we've got Patu, and when we also have like bluffs or cliffs, then it becomes Snan. Excuse me. Snan. and it almost sounds like tanan, but it's not. It's just tnan, and it's not tnun either. It's with a T, Jonathan. Yeah, tnan, and tnun is a bighorn sheep. Then, but for the people, us ourselves, we are tanan. But that cliff, is tnan. So when you see a letter, when they run together like that, you just go straight in without that vowel in between. You just go straight into that sound, tnan. You know, one syllable word, tnan. I know this is something that we haven't done in a while, so we'll go ahead and allow some recitation here. So with some of these words that we've wrote down, Bobby, that was a big yawn. So if you want to go ahead and go down the list of to say all these words.
Tiičám,
Tiičám,
tiičám, Nch'i-Wa, máycqi, wála, wáypx. Oh yeah, I'm trying to scroll it myself here. Wáypx panash, winasha, winanutash. Áwača, kskɨ, watám. Páyšnkikš, Áwača, watám, coop, waapáykt, páyšnkikš, chlámikan, auna winasha, chlámikan, pushtai, Fred pushtai, Patkanu, Patu, Waist, Tahuma, Tapashnakit, Tapash, Patash, Yapash, Nakit, Wanite, Kapis Wanite, Lakwike Wanite, Tnan, Tanun, Tanan, Anaku Pawacha Pakwithama.
Okay, good.
Nakit.
Rosnan or Miss wála titpa amatis
Tiičám,
wána.
Nch'i-Wa, wána, ititamałáma, wála, wáypx, wáypx panash, winasha, winanutash, Áwača, watám,
Kskis.
watám, páyšnkikš,
Kpis.
páyšnkikš, Áwača, watám, waapáykt, ápaawiš, Hunn, auna winasha, chlámikan, pushtai, Fred pushtai, Patkanu, Patu, Waist, Tahuma, Tapash, Nakit, Tapash, Patash, Yapash, Nakit, Wanite, Kapish, Wanite, Lakwike, Wanite, Tanan, Tanun, tanan, anaku, Áwača, ititamałáma.
Eh, how would you say your comprehension is, or recognition of the languages now compared to when you first started?
Oh, it's growing. I'm going back and watching the YouTube videos and like starting from the beginning, because I just slowly take things in. So that's been really helpful too. So
Okay, good. Glad to hear it. Leslie, anybody from there you want to go?
Sure, I can.
Finish.
It's just I'm home, so I don't know if the people at work got logged on or not. All right. Tiičám, Nch'i-Wa, wána, we would say wála.
Eh,
Yeah, oh yeah, you have it done below. Ititamałáma, wála, wáypx, wáypx, Nch'i-Wa, Níix, Áwača, watám. Yeah, we would say imáypam. Ours is similar to your pond. Páyšnkikš, or kskɨ, Áwača, watám, waapáykt, páyšnkikš, wámikqi, wána, wámikqi. Yeah, our waterfall is totally different. Ours is chicken.
mm,
Pushtai, red pushtai, kanu, patu, wayi, tahuma. I gotta stop that. Tahuma. Páyšnkikš, ypam, one night, fish one night. I don't know if I'm getting this right.
you sound good. Sound good.
Hunn, anaku, Áwača, ititamałáma.
Good. Yeah, I need to be logging into your guys' class so I can pick up more understanding of how it's written and a lot of Nesper's pronunciations. So I need to, be involved more with Nesper's. Let's see, Jules.
Sure.
Gomish.
Tiičám, Nch'i-Wa, wána, ititamałáma, wála, wáypx, wána, wána, Áwača, kskɨ, watám, páyšnkikš, Áwača, watám, coop, waapáykt, ápaawiš, wámikqi, wána, wámikqi, pushtai, red pushtai, pitkhanu, patu, wayist, tahuma, páyšnkikš, yapáyšnkikj, wánight, wánight, lahway, wánight, tanan, Tanun, Tanun, Anaku, Áwača, Pach, Ilachna,
Páyšnkikš, Páyšnkikš. That's it. Páyšnkikš.
Pach,
Yeah.
Lama, Pach, Lama.
Páyšnkikš, mama.
La, Mama,
Good. Yeah, okay. Níix namsinwi. Annie?
tiičám, Nch'i-Wa, wána, Umatilla, wála, wáypx, panash, winasha, winanutash. Áwača, kskɨ, watám, páyšnkikš,
Kpus.
Áwača, watám, waapáykt, how's that one?
Ápaawiš.
Ápaawiš. Huamikan, auna winasha, huamikan, pushtai. That should say fret, pushtai.
Eh.
Fret, not flat. Pikhanu, patu, wáyis, tahuma, tapash, nakit, tapash, patash, yapash, nakit, wána, kapis, wána, lachwaich, wána, tanun, anaku, pawacha, lama.
So again on this, the word for cliff and Indian. So when we say that cliff, it's almost like leaving out a vowel altogether and just go straight into tnan. Tnan. Yeah. But when we say people or the Indian people, then we say tanan. Okay. So just
That's really hard because I'm used to saying tanun. So
Yeah.
trying to take it out it's kind of hard.
Yeah. Okay. Gene, Onam.
Okay. Tiičám, Nch'i-Wa,
Nch'i,
Nch'i-Wa, wána, ititamała, wála, wáypx, winasha, winanutash.
eh,
Áwača, kskɨ, watám.
eh,
Kup, waapáykt, ápaawiš, yamakan, ana, winasha,
Huamikan,
ana, winasha, hamikan, pushtai, Federico pushtai. Oops. Pikhanu,
Pitchanu, eh,
Patu, Wahist, Tahoma, Tapash Níix,
Tapashnakit,
Tapashnakis, Tapash, Patash, Yapash, Nakit, Wa'anait, Gips Wa'anait,
Kapis,
Kapish, Wa'anait.
Wana, eh,
Okay.
Lachwaich,
Lachwaich anat.
eh,
Tanun, tanan. Anaku pawacha páyšnkikš.
okay, you'll get it. Coming a long ways too. And Jonathan?
Umish. Tiičám, Nch'i-Wa, wána, ititamałáma, wála, wápáykt, wáypx, Áwača, kskɨ, watám, páyšnkikš, watám, Nch'i-Wa-páykt, Nch'i-Wa-páyšnkikš, Wámikan ána winasha, Wámikan ustai, Fataliku ustai, Itkanu, Atu, Waist, Tahuma, Tapash Nakit, Tapash, Patash, Yapash, Yapash, Nakit, Wánight, Wánight, Wánight, Tanan, Noon, Tanan, and Áwača Pahuislama.
Kwasla. Jonathan, just on the nut on the nukit, it should be nukit instead of nukit, nukit. Okay, so that's the only correction that I want to make on tapash nukit. Tapash nukit is
You
how
keep
that
them as
comes
two
out.
separate words.
Tapash nukit e. If it's as one tapash nukit, it could be as one word. That way, we wouldn't have to worry about trying to separate any stress at all, or like to figure it out. So it's tapash nukit. So you're talking about the end of the tree line. So tapash nukit, it would work that way because it does sound like one word. Čí಼aw kwal anta Nch'i-Wa winetda naku saad pain anta shwa subsequent Nch'i-Wa skuli slama. So again, as far as I'll go today, and now look at see what is that, the chat here. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays at 4 p.m. Okay. So I'll have to figure probably like maybe on Wednesdays, Tuesdays, and okay. Thank you, Leslie. So and then hopefully this class was informative for all of you that came on, and Candace, as you keep logging on, you'll catch on to how that we read and pronounce our words, and appreciate you logging on, and each and every one of you. Kwasanawa shamatash nikumana munanta nasha kinutamatash čí಼aw nikumun Nch'i-Wa kushna páyšnkikš čí಼aw subsequent. So appreciate you guys again for making your appearance and how that I'm teaching. Out.
Real quick before people go, I just put a link in the chat. If anybody doesn't have a copy of this but wants to check it out, it is apparently available for free online through the Open Library. I've gotten a lot of really good books through them, usually really nice scans. Apparently you can get this one online.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Kulish. E.
What was Shamakash?
Imáyqi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Atla, Fred.
Kwasla kasla.
Kushai.
E. Adios.